Where's all the food? For as long as people have been writing down history, there have been wars going on all over the world. There's never been a day gone by where there wasn't one group of people murdering some other group. In every war, there have been heroes and villains. Some people lived, and many people died. And every single time, without exception, the people have gone hungry. And some have even starved. Yes, many people die at war from bombs or bullets or sharp, pointy bits of metal stuck into them, but many more have died because there was nothing to eat. It's horrible, it's awful, it's a punch in the gut to think of people who died for nothing, who stopped having breath in their lungs because there was no food in their bellies. But in some ways, it's part of the awful logic of war. The millions of soldiers don't grow food because they're too busy shooting each other or flinging bombs at people. The millions of workers in war factories don't grow any food either because they're too busy making the guns and bombs and bullets. And even the farmers who are still growing food make less of it because the same stuff that makes fertilizer also makes bombs and explosives. Now, people don't give up so easily. When the kind of food they're used to is gone, they try to make something else into a food to replace it. It might not be their first choice, and they might never have imagined eating it, but when their bellies are empty, people will eat all sorts of things. Even if it was food they once gave to animals, they will eat it. Even if it's food that's not very nutritious or even very good for you, if it makes their bellies full, they will eat it. Even if it's food that's pretending to be the stuff they used to eat, people will close their eyes and cram it in. The evil logic of war keeps making this happen. So does the fact that no one cares and no one remembers. The soldiers who served or were wounded or even died have parades and monuments and days set aside to remember them. No one remembers those who went hungry or starved. Not all the people go without food, of course. The politicians who start the wars never miss a meal. Neither do the generals who tell the soldiers to attack. Forward, they cried, from the rear. Safe in the rear. Their meal times never stop being a thing of wonder and luxury. It's only the people who do the work and do the fighting who have to tighten their belts and cram something fake into their bellies when they find bare shelves or food so outrageously expensive they can't afford to buy any. So now ask yourself, haven't you seen bare shelves lately? And not just a few, and not just in one store, but a lot of them, and in every store you look? Tell me, is food less expensive now, or does it cost more? And not just a little bit more, but a lot more money. Look, we know what the answer is already. Anyone who lives in some magical place where all the shelves are full and never has to pinch their pennies to pay for that food or anything else. And those people stopped listening 10 minutes ago. But for you, I want to ask you this question. What war are we fighting? I am 1000% serious about this. What war are we fighting? Who is the enemy? What reason is there for there to be bare shelves and food prices that are zooming to the moon? Oh, what's that? We're fighting a virus? A virus, really? That's a stupid idea. Viruses don't make wars. Viruses aren't trying to actually kill anyone. Viruses are only trying to do what every other living creature on this planet does. They're trying to reproduce. And of course, they won't notice if their reproduction kills people. They don't have eyes to see, nor do they have brains to think. And even if they did, what's in it for them if they kill off their host? Well, nothing, not a thing. If you think about it, a virus is like a burglar. They want to slip in and out completely unnoticed. It's to their benefit that not only does no one die, but no one gets any symptoms. That would be the best thing in the world for them. My friends, I say to you that you better believe there is a war going on, all right. But it's not between us and a virus. It's the same war that's been going on in places like Venezuela for years, and in places like Cuba and North Korea for decades. It's a war made by the owners of those countries against the people who are trapped under them, who are trapped underneath their boots. That is the war we are in. It is a war that has been declared by the owners of this country against all of us who live here. They want you to get used to having less and less and paying more and more and more. They want you to get used to bare shelves and skyrocketing prices and fake food. The same tyrants who lie to you about how your vote counts while they rig the elections are the very same criminals who want you to believe that meat is somehow made from plants. The same tyrants who own the courts and all their judges that will never give the people justice are the very same monsters telling you that bugs and fungus are somehow food. The very same villains who own everything you see on TV, who own all the schools and choke off the truth with their lies, are also the same self-righteous terrorists that want you to be weak and scrawny while they eat meat from animals and are fat and strong. It's not one bit different from the Dark Ages, when the peasants were not allowed to hunt deer, because those were the king's deer, or they belonged to some baron or a prince or some other rich guy. The common people better keep their hands off, lest they want to be stabbed with swords or strung up from a tall tree. Bow down, peasant! Get used to eating peas porridge cold and be grateful you get even that. We, the true believers, are against these criminals. The God we follow, the God that built us from nothing, that God loves all people. The God we worship and adore, the same God that does not want blood, the same God who wants peace and freedom for all people, our mighty one true God who wants all the people to eat and be well. And we, the true believers, will work to make it so that no one goes hungry because of other men's greed or lust for power. Thus say we all, so help us God. Please write to me if you need to at impcalgi@protonmail.com. That's IMPCALGI at PROTONMIL.com. Ideals, mastering power, creating all life, God is.